like, and subscribe, you sons of bitches. Go ahead to Foolish Club Media on our YouTube page. Like and subscribe. Do your thing like Osita is doing. Please help as we continue to grow this puppy right here at Foolish Club Media. The Nightly Fix every single Sunday through Thursday.
Every single what?
Sunday through Thursday.
One more time for people in the back.
Fucking you say it. Shit. Make me say it.
Every single Sunday through Thursday night from 10 to 11 p.m. I don't really know how time zones work, but I'm pretty sure y'all can figure it out.
Central Standard Time, 11 o'clock, give or take.
Whatever, Chicago, right?
That's Central. Yep, Chicago is Central. But no, come join in, pull up, have a good time with us each and every night. Hey, the play-in is happening. Is those interested parties, especially Rockets fans, and maybe the loser or the winner of the Kings and the Mavericks. They have some concern and interest in this thing. I think Oklahoma City has some interest in this thing, as Memphis and old Golden State are playing. Golden State's up by double digits right now in the second quarter, but Memphis ain't laying down. Memphis got it to 11 with a 9-0 run, so that means they were damn near pushing being down by 20. So we'll keep you, my favorite word to say, abreast about what's happening in that game. John Morant, man, maybe he need to throw a grenade, man. He got to get into this thing a little bit more. Maybe he needs to really pick it up. Steph Curry is looking like Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler, and they're going to be a tough one. As crazy as Jimmy is, and we have chronicled it here on many shows we have done, Serda, as crazy as he is to get himself out of Miami and do all the crazy things he did, buddy is still playoff Jimmy, and it's a different ball game when it comes with Jimmy and Steph and all that. So yeah, man, this will be a fun game and fun series. And listen, I'm gonna tell you what the NBA wants, and some Rockets fans might not want to hear it. And I don't know that I want to see it. Okay,
why are you picking on me, man?
I'm not. I'm just saying the NBA would like to see Golden State win this game against Memphis. So they are the 7 seed, and they are in line to play the Lakers in the second round. That is what the league would like to see. They would like to see, I would think they would think that's the one that would get the most eyeballs. Steph and Jimmy, LeBron and Luka. And those two teams and that little history and that rivalry. But the Rockets or the Grizzlies potentially have something to say about that thing. So stay locked in with us as we continue rolling through this thing. All right, fellas. I do want to make a reminder tomorrow. And Steve, you are ready for this. Hopefully, it's the first edition of Black Movie Serda Review, right? Serda is and maybe we can work on the title of this, but Serda is
definitely table that and come back to it next week or something.
Clear your throat, man.
Hey.
Yeah, clear your throat, man.
Is that better?
Clear it, please. You got to be on the ball here. All right, come on. Damn it, it's Tuesday. You got to be on the ball here. Let's go.
Is it really Tuesday?
God, dog. Yeah, it's hump day for our show, but don't mean you got to just quit. Come on now.
Tuesday. I bet. I'm drinking my water. I'm hitting my vape.
Hit your vape, man.
Hit the Benjamin.
Feeling good,
all
man.
Is well. It's okay.
But
by
Serda
the way,
has
Fogger, if you want to sponsor us, Fogger.
There it is. We could have somebody step up. Serda is having to watch his first Black movie, where he's going to do this every week, every Wednesday. He's going to give us a full review.
It's not my first one. It's not the first one that I've ever watched.
Your first Black movie ever.
The first one of the show. Yes, we know you've seen Friday. It's the first one of the show. It is the inaugural one of this segment, this new little ditty that we're doing on the
You can't say that on the internet, dude. Just calm down.
Can you not say Diddy?
No,
I guess that. What if it's Little
man.
Diddy? What if it's Little
That's
Diddy?
even worse for some reason. That just feels worse, dude. What are you talking about?
You're right. That's this new little thing we're doing. You're right.
I did watch it. I did watch the movie.
So you have watched. So you have a full review ready tomorrow. All right.
Yes, I have thoughts.
Oh, God, I hope you do.
Full
review. Yeah. And listen, Serda, the show we like to go an hour give or take, and the movie review is not going to be spent an hour on your thoughts. So rein it in. Figure out a way to pull that in.
Nah, man, I want a full dissertation. I want MLA format. I want citations. I want it all, man. I need at least 1,000 words.
I'm not gonna put that much effort into it, but I've got several mental notes for tomorrow.
Okay. All right.
Could you have possibly phrased it differently? Like I'm not gonna put that much effort into it. Like the way that you just phrased
I'm not gonna write a whole thing about it.
I want a dissertation.
Yeah. I'm not gonna write a paper about it.
You are going to put some effort into it. My goodness alive. Just I'm not going to put that much effort into it.
The effort was watching the movie.
All right. I just one of the things I want to hear honestly every single week is, do you think this was Oscar award nominated in any way? Do you think this is one that could sneak in there? I don't want to hear it now.
You'll find out tomorrow.
But we'll find out tomorrow. That's what what radio people really cling on and call a tease right then and there. Is to tease right there for tomorrow. So rock with us. All right. Can we go here real quick because I wanna see if we've arrived to a point. Osita, are you familiar with Tyreek Hill?
I'm aware of the name.
Yes. Tyreek Hill, who is
I feel like he did something bad. Did he do something bad?
Well, there's something.
He's done lots of bad things.
He's some things. His
latest, not a very good guy.
It really appears it. I've got a couple of personal stories with it. Ran into his ass. I have this amazing ability to spot just celebrities randomly. Like you're not gonna get CJ Stroud past me in a grocery store. Like I'll walk past and I'll spot him immediately. I know who he is. I was in Austin with my family, and him and his girlfriend, she'll enter the conversation here in a bit. Him and his girlfriend were riding scooters, and they pulled up beside us at a stop sign. And I said, "Oh my God." I said, "That's Tyreek Hill." Everybody in the car said, "What?" Rolled down the window. And my son, yelled out, "Tyreek." And he just did the deuces like he always does. And I was like, damn, that is the Tyreek just riding scooters in Austin with his girlfriend. But no, as you said, Osita, he has done a few things wrong. He entered the league he was a 5th round pick and dropped to the 5th round. I'll never forget, me and shout out to Carrington Harrison were on the air doing the Chiefs draft coverage, and we were just like, recognize that name. We know that name. Oh yeah, he was the one that was arrested and pleaded guilty for allegedly beating up his pregnant girlfriend, including punches to the gut. Was the alleged and her, like, she had photos and photos, and it was bad blood, black eyes and stuff. And he played with the Chiefs and immediately became a star because he is the fastest player in the league, and not just fast, but super, super twitchy and talented. And for a while there, I think was the most feared receiver in football. But he ended up staying with her, marrying her, right? And they had maybe they didn't get married. Did they get married, Serda? I can't remember, but I know they had.
I don't remember if they.
I know they had
got
more
married,
children,
but they definitely got back together after that.
They were together. They had children, and then they had that one situation where, remember, Steve, we were on the air, and in a break, we got an anonymous call that, hey, we've got a video that is downstairs under the second trash can outside, and you might want to go check it out. And it was a video that really was one of the next things he got in trouble for, where he made a threat to her as well in this video years later. And it was thought that he might get himself suspended or he might get off the team, but he didn't really get into any big trouble with the league with that, missed some practice time, but it was more threats. I believe he said, you should be frightened of me too, bitch, or something like that. He said to her. But then they broke up, and he's had all these things. He's had issues once he got traded to Miami. Last year, it was actually not in the wrong, but he was arrested before a game on the side of the street in a car thing. But the latest thing is Tyreek Hill's mother-in-law to his current wife called the police fearing for her daughter's safety and her life. She saw Tyreek Hill allegedly throw a laptop and grab his daughter heading to the balcony after a fight with his wife. She has filed for divorce from him, and that is the latest thing. Charges, they initially had pressed charges on him, but then charges were dropped. This has happened multiple times. I'm just saying, at every turn, like this is just a few things I've told you about. He's probably had multiple 4 to 5 to 6 incidents with legal incidents. It's a lot of different things.
There's another boat thing where he refused to pay somebody, and there was maybe a physical altercation, but nothing really.
Yes, that's right. But boat things. Sometimes I know this is bad. Sometimes there's a time period, COVID and all that stuff. Him and Antonio Brown stuff would run into each other for me. But anyway, he has had his issues, and at every turn, his unbelievable, unique, can't replicate from anybody else talent has allowed him to be able to get away with these things, and allowed that his talent was so good that the baggage that comes along with him, people were willing to go ahead and say, all right, man, dude is a bit of an issue. Dude is a bit of a headache, but damn it, he's so good. Nobody can do what he does. We'll make exceptions. And that is something that is true in life. I'm sure in every field, music and film and any of the arts, anything. If you are super talented and unique and nobody can do it, you get more chances. You get more opportunities. But with this latest one, we've heard trade stuff. We've seen, especially this year, his numbers come down. Is Tyreek Hill, has his baggage finally caught up to a place where his talent has dropped, that it's not worth it to be in business with Tyreek Hill because of the baggage? Has his talent dropped enough to where you're like, yeah, man, I'm out? It's not worth it anymore. He's not worth the headache and the drama.
Yeah, I think
you think we've reached that point, Steve?
Yeah, I don't think he's fallen off of a cliff yet. I don't think he's reached that point in his career. But even with Antonio Brown, I think at the end, Antonio Brown, it was pretty evident that he could still play. The problem was Antonio Brown wouldn't get out of his own way at the end, and to the point where it was Tampa Bay was embarrassed to even have him on their team. But I think it's what we're moving in that direction with Tyreek Hill because and it's not even just the legal stuff. It's like at the end of this season, he's talking to reporters and talks about, oh, he's going to demand a trade or he wants out of Miami because Miami had a bad season and he wasn't happy, even though he didn't play well. I know he's banged up this season, but when he played this season, he wasn't an effective player. Like he didn't quite look like the same fastest wide receiver in the NFL who could blow past anybody and just and take it 70.
There were times you could cover him in single, like the teams were covering him with it.
Yeah, and he's getting into his 30s, and that's typically when you see wide receivers have these massive drop-offs. But, some of that could have been the Tua situation. Some of that could have been Tyreek Hill getting older and being a little bit banged up. But I think it's a matter of, like, is he past his prime? Yes. When he first got to Miami, he had back-to-back 1,700-yard seasons. And so if you're an NFL team that is a legitimate contender, you're weighing the options of, like, bringing in Tyreek Hill, who in his mind is probably still like, I'm a $25-30 million player, but I don't think that he necessarily is that at this point. And then he's also not really a team player. Like he's also not like a great locker room guy. And that's why the Chiefs they made the decision. It was Tyreek Hill or Travis Kelce, and they chose Travis Kelce all day. And that was the right decision to make. Because Travis Kelce is a superstar, and he is also knocking off Taylor Swift. He's also as a stand-up citizen, like first ballot Hall of Famer, and Tyreek Hill is that caliber of player. But they made that decision because even all this stuff in college, like the Chiefs protected Tyreek Hill from the media for years. Like
Serda, I know. Oh, I know. That was my other personal story. I learned very well with one of my questions early on that shut down a press conference or a little mini press conference at his locker. It shut it down, and I had a talking to from the media guy with the Chiefs about maybe pushing away some of those questions I posed.
Yeah,
I thought he hit me. Osita, he hit me with that ice cube if looks get killed for about 5 seconds before he answered the question.
Yeah.
Tyreek did.
And that was just how the Chiefs managed him. Like it wasn't even, they just refused to put him in front of the media because they knew they couldn't control him and he would say things and get himself into trouble. And so the Chiefs, instead of even giving him the option, they were just like, absolutely not. Like they would just really limit the amount of times that he would speak to the media throughout the year. I know for a fact he wanted to have a podcast and stuff, and the Chiefs were always like, no podcast, and that we don't do that on our team. But then Travis Kelce wants a podcast, and Travis Kelce gets a podcast because he's Travis Kelce. Like, and then Tyreek Hill starts, a podcast as soon as he gets down to Miami. It was a matter of like, he reached a point for the Chiefs where they were like, we think we're at a point where we can add enough value to this is going to be better for us long term. And it was getting rid of him because he's not a good teammate and he's never really been a particularly good teammate. He's just a superstar player, but now he's reached the age and level of play where it's like some team will certainly take a chance on him, but they're not going to take a chance on him. Like Miami's going to go trade him right now. You're getting like a 4th, 5th round pick for Tyreek Hill. You're not getting a bunch of draft picks for Tyreek Hill at this stage of his career. And especially not with all of these allegations now.
Is there any way that we can, I guess, like talk about, because this guy, I don't really know much about Tyreek Hill, but from what y'all are telling me, he kind of sounds like a crazy person. Would y'all agree? Like he's done some crazy shit back in the day or something like that? Like,
he has that element.
He hasn't. So, he's not like Antonio Brown was like legitimately like insane, like did crazy things.
But he slowly built up to it. Like he built up to it. Yeah.
But he deteriorated fast, like on the field and off the field. And Tyreek Hill hasn't gotten quite to that level, or I think, but it's the physical violence allegations like that are multiple now.
Like so where's the league with like, and this is just like a personal thought I have because I did see something about something like this weekend. It was based out here in Houston. But like, where's the league with like mental health checkups on these cats? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's that joke that Neil Brennan has where I think he's talking about like Ray Rice or some shit. and he's just like, oh, I did football in a place where I wasn't supposed to do football. Now I'm in trouble. It's like, so is this one of those situations where, like, I don't know, are we letting this slide because he's like a popular player or something like that? Has there not been any sort of ramifications for his actions? Because
Yeah, no, like he is definitely on the tight. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't get suspended for this with his history and things like that. So I mean, he is like he's on the list of, you know, a previous offender to where he would, you know, there would be trouble involved there. But the overall part of it's not just he's a popular player, it is he has been good. Like, he has been the best at his position. He has like been the best wide receiver and a playmaker. And he won a Super Bowl with Kansas City, left there, and really, like, Tua never looked the way he did until he got him. And hell, for a second there, any quarterback he made better, right? And those guys are just we've never seen anybody like him. Right? We've never seen anybody at all like him. But it is coming down. And I will, to answer the question I threw out, Serda, I am not there yet to say I think it's a close thing. I think it's a close conversation. I would not be surprised at all if we have arrived to a point where, yep, Serda is right. But real talk, man, it's been just 1 year removed. And as you said, he was banged up. He had a lot of injuries. Tua missed 5 weeks with his concussion thing. Jalen Waddle, there was some injuries throughout their team and struggles. But just 2 years ago, he's 17, almost 1,800 yards. He's a first-team All-Pro. He is 6th in the MVP race. And Osita, to be 6th in the MVP race from a wide receiver position means you are exceptional and you are balling, because usually it's quarterbacks that are all up there. That's just 2 years ago. I am still, even at 31, I am still willing to put up with a little bit of his bullshit right now, because I think the talent. Now, obviously, if he takes it, to levels where he's going to take it, then I'm screwed. But I would still, right now, if I'm a team, I still got 1 more year before I'm like, nah, I'm out.
Yeah,
because I still think there's something.
But yeah, I'm not saying like a team will, like somebody will, because somebody's going to say, well, if we can get that Tyreek from 200 years ago, like he can be a legitimate difference maker. There's going to be a team
200 years ago.
2 years ago.
But you did say 200. I heard 200.
Well, I meant 2. I meant 2 years ago. But no, there's gonna be that team that will do that, because we always see a team that will do that. Look what the Browns did to get Deshaun Watson. I think with Tyreek too, though, it's like I think he won, like Osita, like he's got a play in Patrick Mahomes' first Super Bowl win that like the Chiefs don't win that Super Bowl if it's not for Tyreek Hill. Like he is immortalized in most Chiefs fans' minds, and
despite beating the shit out of women allegedly.
But and that's no. So in the one from college, that is proven. He was prosecuted for that, and suffered consequences for that, and then had to go play it. Had to leave Oklahoma State and go play at a junior college, and then the Chiefs drafted him in the 5th round, and they got a steal on a player who's likely a future first ballot Hall of Famer. But then the second time, nothing ever really came of the second instance that we talked about that happened. Like it was like 2018, probably 2019. Nothing ever really came of that. There was no legal consequences of that. There was no suspension or anything. Like the charges eventually got dropped. And so we all kind of looked past it all, because during this time, he is one of the most exciting, fun, dynamic player in the NFL to watch. Like every time he touches the ball, he could rip it for 70 and go for a touchdown. And then in Miami, it got even more amplified because he was the clear focal point of the offense. They funneled everything through him. And then it's like, oh, okay, well, he has some issues off the field, like, gets into scuffles with people. Oh, not a big deal, not a big deal, not a big deal. And now it's like, we're back to where we started with Tyreek Hill. And so we're just coming full circle again with him, where it's like, okay, now we have to actually now we have to do a little bit of soul searching on the way that we feel about him as a player because of everything that we have just kind of forgiven because he's been so exceptional at football. And teams certainly don't care about that stuff, but I do.
I'm glad you brought that up, Serda. If you remember, I was not one. I don't mean this to toot my own horn, but if you remember, I was not one. If you remember, it sent me to, I denounced my Chiefs fandom. I did. I just couldn't. Listen, the Chiefs, let's just be honest, in this time frame, they have a type. And maybe he's the poster child, but they just had this thing of, hey, man, we're just going to get players that like to put their hands on women. And, they had Tyreek Hill, who obviously was the one, but then they had Kareem Hunt, who kicked that girl's ass in the hallway of that hotel. And they had Larry Johnson even before that. But then this group had Frank Clark, who they brought in, who had domestic violence cases. They had multiple cats. They probably had 2 or 3 other guys on the team that had this. But these were the worst. And if you remember, Serda, I was like, I'm out. I'm out. And I think it was really, for me, how different they treated Marcus Peters, who never had any kind of criminal issues. He was just somebody that was very, 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 very vocal and opinionated about his thing, and he would let you know. And baby, he was Osita from, I'm talking straight Oakland. He's Marshawn Lynch's cousin. I mean, and so if you can just imagine E40 in that vernacular and him talking like a kid from Oakland, and they seem to be more apt to defend and back up and protect Tyreek Hill than they were about Marcus Peters, and that just rubbed me the wrong way. And it was a situation where I was, I saw how the sausage was made, and I was out. And the Tyreek Hill situation, when they didn't suspend him or do anything, it just made me look at it completely differently. When he left, and my son was a huge Chiefs fan, that one year where they came back and won the Super Bowl years down the line is what kind of brought me back to share that with my son and stuff. But man, I was I had completely looked at the Chiefs differently because of that whole Tyreek Hill situation. Dude is he is the perfect case of, man, the guy's talent is so good that, as Serda said, people are just going to overlook the bullshit that he gives. And even if it's violent, come on, man. At some point, man, he's got at least 3 things that he has been involved 3 or 4 things he's been involved with legally about him and his treatment of women. And do you remember, Serda? Do you remember when the second incident came? Because by this point, Osita, they had won a Super Bowl, they were close to winning a Super Bowl, and he had become a fan favorite because he was the most electrifying player in the league. Boy, we were in here. We're like, hey man, dude, like a monster. And people saw me coming at us so hard, Osita, oh, you don't even know. You don't know. You just believe everything these women say. Oh,
come on, bud.
I mean,
come on,
2 years ago
That's
when
wild.
2 years ago when he was in the MVP running, because he suffered a late season injury, but before that he was on pace to set the all-time receiving yards record in a regular season. He was voted the best player in the NFL by his peers. He won the NFL top 100 number 1 overall player that year. Every player in the league voted him the best player in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, my whole question about like the mental health thing though, at what point does a team decide like, you know what, maybe because like, you know, as a tiger never really changes his stripes. Like just because he's getting divorced this time doesn't necessarily mean it's not going to continue to happen, man. And like
Oh,
I
I mean,
feel
the
like
odds are that it
there's
will.
there's hella signs beforehand that people have like mental health issues and then just like no one does anything about it. Like that kid from LSU just passed away like this past week, and I'm sure there was a bunch of shit that people saw, but they're just like, hey, but he's good at football, you know, but he's good, he's gonna be a draft pick, blah blah. But meanwhile the dude's like suffering in silence and shit.
Let me
Like I feel at one point does like they make all this fucking money, why aren't they investing more in like the mental health of these players that obviously have some shit going on with them,
I,
like, you know, from CTE and on.
I have a real, and I guess struggle is the right term to use. And I'm glad we got here, but I have a real struggle in how to approach that because listen, this is somebody who has worked in the mental health field, right? I worked in a children's hospital, saw it firsthand with mental health issues, and I certainly believe that many people are suffering from it, and we haven't for years given it enough attention and still fail at it. I do, however, have a struggle with how do you know a person is just a dickhead or
Dickhead
if it
versus what?
versus like, hey man, he's suffering, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like because as you said, a tiger doesn't change his stripes. Is it because Tyreek Hill needs to get some help because because he's dealing with a bunch of stuff that causes him to do this, or is he just an asshole and just a bad dude, right? Like it's weird because I do think Antonio Brown has some mental health issues. And I do think like some of the stuff he does, I think he's an asshole, but I think like some of the stuff he does also there is some mental health aspects to it. With Tyreek Hill, man, this has been something. This is college, man. Right? I'm not saying there isn't any mental health issues or there isn't any CTE. I'm not saying that, but like, how do we decipher between the two of like you know, there's some people that ain't been hit one time, like in football, that some people are just bad dudes. There's bad people, bad chicks, bad dudes, and that's the thing that I struggle with sometimes is how to separate like this is somebody who is acting this way because they're in pain or dealing with some sort of mental health, or this is a person that is acting like this because like Spike from Little Giants, he's just an asshole.
But
Like
I would say that like anger issues, which is what he seems to be, you know, seems to have and stuff like that, throwing a laptop, you know, telling his girl that bitch, I'm the one you should be afraid of, type shit.
you
Like,
should be
you know,
terrified of me too,
you
bitch.
should,
Yeah,
yeah,
that
you
was
should
it.
be terrified of me too, bitch. I feel like, you know, anger issues are a form of like mental illness. You don't know when
That's
to
fair.
control yourself. You
That's
don't know
fair.
when to stop. You don't know when you've gone too far. You know what I mean? Like, and for them to continue like to, I don't want to say allow him, but I mean, they should let him play and stuff like that because obviously that's his form of, you know, work and stuff like that. But there should be some sort of
Yeah.
fucking guidelines in place, like something, dude. Because who was that guy from the Patriots who ended up killing somebody? Was he on the Patriots?
Oh, Aaron
Uh,
Hernandez. Yeah.
yeah, dude. Like, what the fuck? Like, y'all just letting a killer hang out? Like, he had it in him the whole
But see,
time? Wild, dog.
but that's another one.
Well,
Like
Wild.
obviously he had CTE, but I also think Aaron Hernandez was just a bad person.
yeah.
Like I
Well,
just,
and
but
I mean, I think it's complicated because obviously
it is.
we're talking about like brain function that has developed over the course of a person's life, and most of these guys have been playing football since they were children. But like, also, I think like there is something to, you know, maybe he's just an asshole, maybe he's just a bad dude. But also, like, teams could certainly do more for this stuff. The NBA has been pretty good about this stuff. The NBA has been pretty good about being upfront and supporting players who want to speak out about mental illness and getting help and things like that. The NFL doesn't talk about this stuff because they don't want to. And because like Tua, the quarterback for the Dolphins, Tua 2 years ago got a concussion that was so bad he got knocked out and seized up on national television, and then was literally back and playing.
Well, which one did you see?
Game.
Which one did you see?
Was literally back and playing in a game like within like 10 days, and it was because they're like, oh, he passed the concussion protocol, which we know they lie about sometimes if it means they can get a player back on the field fast.
There's like, how many fingers am I holding up?
He picks up another one in his first game back, gets knocked unconscious again, and then last season he missed several games because he suffered another serious concussion. And there's been like brain experts who were like, yeah, you're not supposed to suffer that many because he had bad ones in college too. And it's like, he needs to stop playing football. He still played football again last season. Like he's still going out there. He just took like 6 weeks off, and then they were like, oh, he was cleared by an expert neurologist to come back and play, and he wants to come back and play. So we're going to let him come back and play.
They should put airbags in those helmets or something, man.
Well, they trust. They've done a lot of technology to try to make them safe.
Something, baby. Something.
Yeah, Tua just gets slammed. I do want to hear this from, because I see some people in the chat. Shout out to the guy who said, has Serda seen waist deep yet? That maybe is coming. But in the chat too, if you're checking this out, go ahead and join the chat. I do want to get to this because Serda and really Osita kind of went to this. Do you think any time that someone shows behavior that could be very, very hurtful, especially in a physical manner to someone else, that there is some sort of mental health always tied to it? Or can it just be like, dude's just a bad person, or she's just a bad person? Is it
I think even if it was just that, like you could tie that to some type of mental diagnosis. Like I think if you dig deep enough, you can always narcissist. You can always find things that you can label within a person that way.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Like even just because someone's a dick or an asshole or something like that,
there's something.
Like usually there's something there in that person that's like, oh, maybe they think way too highly of themselves, therefore they're arrogant, therefore they are a dick. Or maybe they have sociopathic antisocial tendencies or something like that, therefore they hate everyone. You know what I mean? They just don't like anyone, therefore they're deemed an asshole or something. Like I feel like a lot of it is like can be chopped to mental illness. And like then again, I mean, if we're talking about football players specifically, like we said, they're getting hit hard day in and day out all the fucking time, taking big hits to the fucking dome. And we know that's not good for you. And then a lot of them, have, well, not a lot of them, but some of them have upbringing. Some people have upbringings that aren't necessarily the norm. And they get thrusted into this world of, oh, because you're good at a sport or something like that, all of a sudden you get all these things. But that doesn't necessarily address like the fact that you still had this like fucked up childhood.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I don't know. I just Hey, it's getting tight. It's getting tight in Golden State. It's a 4-point game. Golden State have been leading this sucker by double digits the whole way. It's a 4-point game, 76-72. Winner takes on the Houston Rockets. That series, I believe, will start Sunday night, which we will be live doing the show at 10 o'clock. Always, that's how we start the week. But it is getting close. John Morant, and listen, John Morant or Steph, I thought one of them, maybe both of them, may go off tonight. And Jimmy Butler has gone off. Playoff Jimmy's in the building. He's got 26, 4 and 4 through 3. But Ja's only got 15. Steph's only got 15. But this thing is getting tight. 79-72 as Golden State has started to try to pull away a little bit midway through the third quarter. So we're gonna keep you up on this one. This is big because Osita's Rockets. And shout out to Brandon Scott. B Block Podcast premiered today on Foolish Club Media every Tuesday and Thursday. Go check that out. Like and subscribe. And hell, like and subscribe to Foolish Club Media. As I see our folks, Dennis in the building, JR, guys down there on the chat listening to us right now. I do want to get to the heat check, but I'm sorry. This is something that this happened after the show yesterday that Osita, I need some explanation for. Osita,
What happened? I got you.
As we went off the air last night, you told us that you ran into a young lady that was so powerful that she did something that many people in this world aren't able to solve. I know many people. I have people that I am very close to, people that have been in my wedding, people that I've been in their wedding, people that I'm going to be in their wedding who have struggled with quitting smoking cigarettes. But you said that you ran into a young lady that has never touched your penis, has never touched your lips to her lips, has
Dreamed
dreamed of it, have never seen her fun bags, have never seen any of it. She has never felt it.
They're just putting this out for the public.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
I didn't mention no names. I'm just saying. I'm telling the truth. There ain't
telling
nothing,
no lies.
there is nothing sexual that has occurred, even though you would have been open to it. Clearly, she was not. But there's nothing sexual that's occurred. But she changed your life and stopped you on a dime, which I have a hard time believing almost. But I'd like for you to explain. Stopped you from smoking. You quit smoking from her. And as I said, I know people that I'm very, very close to, very, very close to, that I know really well who have been struggling with quitting smoking cigarettes the entire time that I've met them and known them. And you had one broad and one conversation to stop you. It is hard to believe. And does she have special powers? And is there other people that she can help?
Okay. Well, let's damn, that's a lot to unpack there.
I want to hear the story. You said this girl make you quit smoking.
Yeah, so it was number one, I'll preface this with the fact that I do vape and I use Zens 6 milligram each. Like I still intake a lot of nicotine, y'all. Like more so
the whole damn story.
More so than the average smoker. You know what I mean? I did smoke 2 packs a day of Cowboy Killers, Marlboro Red. Shout out to Marlboro, that was my shit. But
we don't not sending shout outs to Marlboro Red. I'm sorry.
Why not? If they want to sponsor this, they can sponsor this. I'll gladly be the new cowboy.
I can't.
Let me be the Marlboro man. You know what I mean? The black Marlboro man.
I can't accept that. Go ahead.
No, okay. So yeah, it was like during COVID, I was at people were really not doing anything, but we went to a drive-in movie with some friends, and she was like a friend of a friend. She was there. Beautiful little Latina chick with curly hair and the greatest body I've ever seen in my entire life. Super cool vibe. You know what I mean? She talked the right talk, walked the right walk. She's an artist, like has her own everything, like super, 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 like a baddie for real, for real. Like, I shit you not, the baddest girl I've ever seen in my entire life.
So like
And
Caitlin Clark, is that?
shut your mouth.
I'm
Shut
just
your
saying.
mouth when you talk about my baby.
You say
Shut your mouth when you're talking about my baby.
I'm trying to
No.
easier.
No, don't even do that. Apples and oranges. Anyway, so we're outside of this drive-in theater, and we're actually in my truck. I had a Tundra at the time, so we're all in my truck, and we have like blankets all around, and beers flowing back when I partook. And I was like chain smoking cigarettes left and right, and she comes up to me and like with her sweet little doe eyes, she's like, "You still smoke cigarettes?" I was just like, "Yeah, I've been smoking since I was like 18, 16, 17, like." And she was like, "You're way too cute to be smoking cigarettes." And I was like, "Oh shit, you think I'm cute?" And she goes, "That's all you got from this conversation?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's all I got from this conversation." Like, and she was like, "People vape now if you really want to get nicotine that bad." And I literally stopped smoking. Stopped smoking immediately that day. Haven't picked up a pack
You're
since.
full of shit. You stopped.
That was
dude. How long ago was that? How long?
That was at least 5 years ago.
5 years ago. That's the last time you have held and smoked a cigarette.
I mean, I have friends that smoke hella cigarettes and stuff like that. If I'm at a bar with some friends and we're hanging out, like I'll smoke a cigarette, but I haven't bought my own pack of cigarettes in a really long time. And I've been addicted to these little fuckers. This is how they get you. This is exactly how they get you, dude.
I don't think those are straight up as bad for your lungs, but
this shit
they're still
tastes
very
like
addictive, and they are still not good for you.
Pineapple coconut, dude.
But I also still just smoke cigarettes because I can't get off the real stuff.
Well, again, maybe we need to let this young lady run into Steve. But so no,
we'll change your life,
I am
Steve.
I am serious. Like the psychology of this. What was it that made you say I'm done? Is it that you thought, damn, she clearly finds me attractive, and I think I might have a chance with this broad? This is the baddest one I've ever seen, as you just said, a top shelf baddie. I got a shot. Is that what made you what made you just say I am done? Because I'm just like, Serda, you've been at this. Has there ever been a female that's made you want to quit besides the lady you're with right now? Is there ever been a female that could step in, Serda, and say, could do something to make you just, I'm talking cold turkey, slam them down and say, I am done with these things?
No, and I've quit for long stretches before, but for me, it wasn't even necessarily about that. It was drinking and smoking. Like I could stop for periods of time and then I would drink alcohol and then I would immediately just like smoke another cigarette. Like I can't do, like I have to stop drinking and stop smoking. And so next time I go on a long drinking break, I'm probably going to try to stop smoking cigarettes because I've accomplished that before. I just can't, it's got to be like months. Otherwise I don't think there's, it would take a lot for an individual to get me to just stop doing it. Probably.
I will say stopping drinking definitely made the quitting of the cigarettes easier. Like whenever I stopped drinking completely and stuff, like it was just like, okay, well now I don't have this thing that makes me want a cigarette. Because I would still drink and then I would hit this vape and I like, y'all think I hit this motherfucker a lot now. Like wait till I have like a couple of whiskeys in me and I'm just like chain smoking for dear life trying to feel something. You know what I mean? Like, but
Jesus.
Hey, calm down, dude. I don't judge you. I judge you?
No, I'm not.
I thought it was a judgment-free zone where we could talk about our things. I thought I was talking with the boys.
Jesus. I said it out loud. It's just I did say it out loud, but it was just like, as you said, so I can feel something. I just like I need her to come by and while I'm eating like a bag of chips or something and say, Ron, you're way too cute to be just
look,
killing yourself with those bag of chips. And maybe I might quit.
Sometimes in your life you meet such a pure soul, such an angelic voice, such a ethereal human just comes your way and then just drops the knowledge of the gods on you, and that's all you need, man.
Did you think you had a shot?
I still think I have a shot to this day. I just don't see her around enough. I just don't be outside like that. Like if I was outside, and she's not really outside like that either. Like she's really focused on her art and stuff like that. And I could, every now and then I run into her. Whenever I run into her, it's like a good night. We're chilling. It's a good time. But, you know, she's got her curfew. I've got my curfew. She's got her little world that she runs, and I've got my little world. But I do feel like it's a possibility. Like I feel, yeah.
It sounds like
you
she
just
could
gotta
be.
show her how good you're doing. I don't
Like,
smoke
exactly.
anymore. I don't drink.
I
Yeah.
drive. I traded in a Tundra for like a Benz. Like, just let her know whatever it is that you. This sounds like
personal life, sir. Calm down.
I'm just trying to speak it into existence, but it sounds like this is like the one territory right here. Stopped you from smoking. Just her words.
I'm telling you, the power that woman had over my life, and she does know because I've told her and shit like that, but I don't think she really knows like how big of a thing that was for me. Because, like I said, I was smoking 2 packs a day. I was really hitting that shit hard.
You know how much that turned her on?
Probably not enough, because not enough because it didn't happen. You know what I mean?
To know that she had that type of power to let you know, like, hey man, the Warriors about to dick this thing out, man.
Is that really the way that you want to say that?
Yeah, it's really exactly what I'm saying. They didn't. This now a 2-point lead. And now John Morant got injured, and they're doing a video replay of this sucker. This thing is getting tight. Tight is it's just tight. Like I ain't gonna go too crazy with that. But it's just super tight though. But no, man, shout out to that young lady, man. I hope you find her. I think you should be led to text her right now. To just message her right now. Now you don't have to tell us on the show, but just to message her right now.
And 11 p.m. on a Tuesday.
11, yeah, let's refrain from that. I'm gonna go ahead.
Let's refrain. What is she, 80?
I'm gonna use my better judgment against that. No,
what is she?
She's got a job. I got a job. We both got our shit going on. When I'll plant some little seeds every now and then, and
because I have in my mind, and we'll get to the heat check here, but this is more important. I clearly have in the
comments. Is this what y'all really want to talk about, guys? Y'all want to talk about my
no, they're gonna talk
love life?
Hell yes. They've come to the table to see us, okay? We'll talk about what we want to talk about. What? Because I have in my mind what the opening is. Like if you just sent a little one right now tonight, what would it be?
If I sent her one right now tonight,
just send a little message right now.
Because of the internet, the way that it is, and the fact that I have access to. Hold on, chill out, hear me out. I'd probably send her a really good song on Instagram or something, like a really good live video or some shit like that, because I know she's into shit like that.
Osita,
get the conversation started.
Osita, it's not been a long time that we've been in each other's lives.
No, it hasn't. So watch what you say.
And to the people that are with us and rolling with us, it's not. And when we sit here at 11 o'clock, and I'm like, hey, man, this could be the one. I mean, this girl stopped you from smoking just by word of mouth. Said it, walked away, and changed your life and really changed our lives. And I say at 11 o'clock, you go one thing, and you come up with what? What did you say?
Send her a nice song.
Yeah.
Osita, that's pretty good, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
You're lying.
That's better. That's better than what I thought. Like that'll sink them. And that fun. In fact, I'm gonna write that shit. I'm sending that to my wife.
I know you're full of shit, Ron. I know you're full of shit, Ron.
That's pretty good, man. I'm just I know who she like. Get a little Anthony Hamilton. And just thinking about you, baby.
This morning, sent a letter that she wrote.
That might be. That's pretty good. That is my mind was just thinking, hey, just want to let you know, was just thinking about you. Just thinking about you. That's it, but that's pretty good. Non-verbal, ain't got to say just a song. That's it. I'd be concerned what song Steve would sing, but that's it. Just I don't know why, Steve.
I'm great at picking out love songs. So.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying the comments are going crazy right now. This dude Dennis is why I love it.
I don't. All right, in the comments, like, listen, we're gonna go over 11 a little bit. In the comments, you wrote as I see, do you get the sense, and would you describe and say, Serda, he seems like a guy that's great at picking out love music. I'm not saying he's not, but like I just like what's your like? I know you know a lot about music, but like I like what?
But
like,
I'm
what's
also I've also talked to you about how I'm very into like 50s and like 60s music, and that's like all songs back like early 60s.
About love,
but that's all, every song back then. It was all about love. That's all they wrote about. Like,
see, there are two different types. There are two different types of love song. Like, there's a love song and there's a love making song. I believe what Ron was talking about was like a love making song.
No, I don't. No, I don't want to put you in the box. It could be just love. I just like.
But I could see Serda knowing like a love song, like a song that really conveys all his feelings and stuff like that towards a particular woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, he listens to Bob Dylan. Those songs are out there. You know?
It's true.
Yeah. It probably would be some Bob Dylan, wouldn't it? Is that what you
No, probably not, but I'd have to think about it.
I don't know.
I'm bad at listening to lyrics of songs too. That's changed as I've gotten older.
Steve, you wouldn't pull out
I let the music move me more than the words.
You wouldn't pull out a little Silk, Steve?
Oh my God. Yo, this man came into the record store the other day, and it was just me and this girl that I work with, right? And he just goes, this old school he's like, hey man, y'all got any R&B? We're just like, yeah, we got, classic R&B, and then we also have some, R&B and hip hop that's more modern, blah blah. He's like, nah, man. He goes, nah, man, I'm looking for some Silk. And I was just like, hey, yo,
there's a meeting in my bedroom.
Yeah. And and I was just like, hey, what you got planned? He was just like, man, I'm trying to get something for me and the wifey to get together. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, I'm gonna be out here buying and stuff. Like, I might as well get myself a record to put on later. I was like, man, hey, look, if we had it, I would have you, but we don't have it like that right now, sir. But I see what you're doing. I like the vision.
College, those years, I was taught the need for versatility, and there were, maybe you could see how it goes. There is at one point, there is some Silk, and there is some Drew Hill that might ride in there. There is some maybe before he went nuts, Brian McKnight that you might slide in there. I'm a Timberlake fella. There's some there, but then there was also that mixture of that Maroon 5 Songs About Jane album. That there was another group that enjoyed that one as a mood setter, and maybe a little bit of that John Mayer action. Yeah, I had a couple of Burn CDs that had a mix of those. Had to make sure I knew
versatile.
Had to be versatile, baby, on that love making.
I just heard that Maroon 5 song "Memories" for the first time, like not that long ago.
Oh yeah, the one that's based off but it's, bro, you know why it's so good though, right? It's based off the wedding march. It's literally based off Chopin, like the wedding march. The graduation song by Vitamin C. It was like back in the day. It was like, as we go on.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's the same exact chord progression. It's the same exact chord progression.
Hits. It just
because
hits.
It's supposed to.
I was like, oh my!
It's what they play at weddings.
This before.
It's what they play at weddings to make you sad, to make you be like, oh my God, this is such a beautiful moment. And every artist, every 10 years, every fucking 10 years, someone will take that exact like chord progression and turn it into something new. And it never fucking fails to be a hit, dude. So I'm just waiting like 10 more years and I have my song coming up.
Good.
Hey, Maroon 5, Adam Levine stepped in for you. This is the latest one ever, but let's get to the heat.
Oh, we're doing it? Oh shit. Okay. All right, guys. So for today's heat check, it's something that's been talked about in the news quite a bit, something that we probably all saw over the weekend. But I want to first start this out by giving a quick shout out. This is going to be about Katy Perry, y'all, and her little space race that she had going on. But I do want to give a quick shout out to Katy Perry for, single-handedly being responsible for my third lesbian sexual awakening with her song "I Kissed a Girl." That is definitely when that was the third time I realized I like girls kissing girls. I don't know what it is about them, but yeah, the second one was definitely seeing Gwen Stefani in that Hey Baby video, and the first one was what was that band? All the things she said, all the Evanescence, was that them? Or no, Tattoo. There we go, Tattoo.
Step in there, Steve.
Yeah,
I have a lot of Katy Perry.
Well, anyway, so she went on a little ride with Jeff Bezos and with Gayle King.
Don't forget about her.
Yeah, Gayle King was there, but it was also Lauren Sanchez with his Bezos's new mommy Amazani. And they all went to space for about 11 minutes. And it's interesting that happened, I guess, if you really want to call it that. But what really tripped me out is the fact that it was like a star-studded event. Like Oprah was there was Kardashians there, and like Orlando Bloom. And I feel like, as Gen Z girls would say, it was definitely giving Hunger Games. Like, it was giving unnecessary opulence of like the upper echelon, or giving a complete waste of resources. Like, why the fuck are we sending people to space? Why are we sending celebrities to space at that? When there's an economic downturn, when there's people hungry, when there's people dying all over the world, all these bad things are happening. There's like, oh yeah, let's send Katy Perry to space. Why Katy Perry? That doesn't even fucking make sense. Who gives a fuck about Katy Perry? She's like the least liked person on American Idol, in my opinion. You know what I mean? She hasn't had a song since I Kissed a Girl. Sure. At least if you
huge flop.
I don't
exactly.
I don't think that's accurate. I'm certain Roar came after I Kissed a Girl. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, and yeah, Fireworks probably came after that. But I'm saying, like, if we're gonna send like a famous person to space that we're all actually interested in, probably love, maybe try sending Beyonce to space or something like that. Maybe try sending Britney Spears to space. Wouldn't that be interesting? It'd be funny, right? Seeing her do her little dance in space and shit.
I don't think Beyonce's not that out of touch. Like Britney,
they're all that out of touch, dude.
But
let's be real.
I don't think Beyonce is that out of touch. I think Katy Perry has always been a step above some of these people in being out of touch in a way that isn't all that shocking.
Yeah, but exactly. She's definitely out of touch, because the craziest thing that I saw was the fact that she decided to promote a show that she was doing by having like a little heart, origami heart that she opened up, and it turned into a set list. It was a set list.
She did that tour that she's going on. It's like her version of the Eras tour. Like she's trying to replicate.
No one cares.
Taylor Swift.
Not a single person cares.
No, that's the thing is nobody gives a shit about her tour. But she's trying to go on like her version of Taylor Swift's tour.
Like, and then the gall for her to be like, oh, I heard that she decided to sing or serenade Gayle the entire time with her rendition.
Yeah, she sung in space.
She sung in space. Like, who is this world actually wonderful for? Like the pop star who just saw a view of like that most humans will never see, or me, who's making $15 an hour and has a roommate that's a flat earther. You know what I mean? Like, this is ridiculous that they're sending people to space, dude.
I'm floored by so many angles of this entire diatribe that both of you have leveled out here. I am like, first off, I mean, the hit piece that you guys are doing on Katy Perry is if like
it's real.
It's not.
Also, I'm mad about the space thing too. It's so stupid.
It's stupid.
We're falling apart as a country right now, and they're acting like they're somehow going to bring world peace by spending millions of dollars to send a giant dick into space for 11 minutes.
This is just, but your anger about this so much. I don't know. Like, there's so much other shit happening that's going wrong with this thing or craziness. Like, hey man, let Katy Perry and Gayle King, who was scared to death, like have a moment in here. And Katy Perry, who has over 200 million followers on Instagram alone. Let's like to give it like nobody gives a shit about her. It's a little strong. You went all the way back to I Kissed a Girl. She performed at the Super Bowl at the halftime after all of that. I'm just saying, like, the dismissal of Katy Perry, maybe she's not your cup of tea. Like, nope. Taylor's not my cup of tea, but none of it's just like nobody cares about her. Like, good God, what level, if Beyonce is A-level celebrity, what do you have Katy Perry? And shout out to Katy Perry, who was trying to go after Tim Tebow at that one moment in time because she kind of was attracted to the Christian kid as she was a praise and worship leader in church as a youngster. Shout out to Katy Perry, who was trying to change Tim Tebow's life at the time. He just wasn't going for it. But my God, the disdain and the hate and just the non-facts being thrown out about Katy.
The non-facts.
What are you talking
Look, man, if we're gonna send somebody to space, if we're gonna send an artist to space, send like Tom York or something like that, so we can get a good album out of it at least. You know what I mean? Don't send fucking Katy Perry out there. What is she gonna do with that? How is that gonna better anybody? How is that gonna better anyone? She's not gonna make any new music out of it. You know what I mean? It's not.
How do you know that? I don't listen.
So she's gonna drop the new Rocket Man or something like that, or like the new fucking like David Bowie type shit. No, dude. Like it's that she has like a billion writers for her in the first place.
She used it to promote the set list of a tour that nobody gives a shit about.
So she got something out of it. I just like I'm honest to God. I'm not kidding. I am honest to God baffled that you got this is, and I love it. I love that we all have and Serda just gets angry over certain things like this, but that we all have a little button to get pushed. Me is Jim Nance. You know, I think Jim Nance has lost it. I've gone back and listened to some of his calls, and I think it in his call at the Masters, I think he's lost a step. I think he's lost his fastball for the moment right now. He gets me charged up. I am surprised by it because I feel like the entire take comes from your disdain from Katy Perry. Like
no,
I
it comes from my disdain for the entire thing. The entire thing is ludicrous. Like the fact that Gayle King was on there is probably the only redeeming thing that was about that entire thing. That's the only redeeming quality. The fact that at least we got Gayle King. You know what I mean? Like,
well, you don't hear that.
She seems like a good person. You know, she seems like a good person.
See, why do you think Katie's not a good person? What did Katy do?
Because she. I mean, I'm not saying that she's not a good person.
Yes, you are.
I'm just saying that she's not a good artist. She's not a good artist. That's like, look, I feel like we sent the record into space, so just in case like any alien life finds it, they get to have a record of like what life on Earth is like. That we sent that out like a long time ago, the gold-plated record and stuff like that. I feel like we should be only sending things into space that matter, and I feel like Katy Perry doesn't matter. You know what I mean? She's not.
This isn't getting better.
She's not a generational artist or something like that needs to go to fucking space. Like, fuck is she going to space for? Like, at least William Shatner made sense because he was like the first guy who played somebody who went to space or something like that. What's his name? Is it Michael Strahan? Didn't really make sense to me, but he's a black man, so whatever. I'll rock with it. That's fine. You know what I mean? Just send him to space if you really want to get that gap tooth out in space. Do what you
do. That's the first thing that makes sense of what you said the entire way. By the way, update: Golden State has finally given up this lead. Memphis is up by 2 with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So this thing is getting tight. This is clear, man. I'm glad we get to know each other. Osita hates Katy Perry.
I don't hate Katy Perry. Like,
yes,
look, like I said, she was look. That song, I Kissed a Girl, like really did change my life when I was younger. I was like, damn, girls kiss girls like that? Like, that's what's up. I like that. I really like that.
I would challenge you, and the people on the chat I would challenge you. I'll challenge you to go back and listen to the things that you have just said in the last 10 minutes about Katy Perry, and just listen to think to yourself, would this lead someone to believe that this person has an issue with Katy Perry? That this person is not just
Katy Perry.
It's okay, you do. Guys. You said she's worthless.
I didn't say all that. You're putting words in my mouth. I did not say that she's worthless.
I think you should go back. Go back.
One thing you'll realize about me, and I do the same thing with my music, I never re-listen to whatever I've created. So I'm not going to listen back to this podcast, even if you fucking paid me to do it. It's not going to happen.
That's all right. We'll get it. That's a damn shame. Now, Serda knows that he has been mean to Katy Perry, and he doesn't like Katy Perry, and he can stand on, as Kendrick Perkins does, business on his thing. But you just like, you didn't. She is Like, send somebody who's worth it. She's not she's not worth it. You said she's the worst person to ever be on American Idol. Like, does that include Simon? Like, Simon was.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the
You're
Brits
doing
like
it.
Simon, right? That's a no for me, dog. That's a no for me.
Clearly. Take us home, Flu.
Well, speaking of let's see. Speaking of rockets, maybe Red Rockets. No, is that a? Yeah. When I was in high school, I was in love with the little French girl.